as I have waken up at the early hour, I find that my mind has just been racing with thoughts, especially at night, on this one topic. And I was thinking about it a couple weeks ago, and ever since then, it's kind of just stuck with me. And I've journaled about it, I've meditated on it, I've reflected, and still it just is taking up energy in my life and my mental space. And so I definitely just want to talk about it and put it out into the universe and kind of just speak it out loud and speak my thoughts, speak my truth. And I have found that I've enjoyed documenting kind of my thoughts, my processes, and usually I don't share them, but I am probably going to share this one. And they're just nice to look back on and reflect, and who knows, maybe I won't share this one, but maybe I'll share it one day. I'm not really sure, but for right now it feels good just to let it out, express it. So to start, I think I would like to read an entry from just my original journal entry, or read a section. There's these dogs behind me. Oh my god. One of them's going swimming. In today's age, with a million platforms of social media, as an artist, even as a human, it's incredibly easy to fall into a cycle of consumption over creation. And that is the death of passion. I don't know when it happened, but at some point along the way, I lost myself in the toxic game of comparison. With the constant and never-ending influx of photos and videos on one platform, let alone 5, it's no wonder I feel a loss of identity and an individuality. So I think instead of asking, what do I want to create, my new question is, who am I creating for? I feel just because ever since when I first decided that I wanted to pursue photography, I was studying journalism in college. And I actually I started as a print journalist. I wanted to work for some kind of online publication as a writer, and I wanted to write stories and report, and I thought that was really cool. And then somewhere along the way, I think I just took like a photography class, a media class, because I always loved photography. I used to have it as a hobby when I was in high school, but I never really thought that I could do photography full time. I just never thought my work was enough to pursue. I just never really considered that as an option for me to pursue that beyond just the like kind of photo shoots I did with my friends. Or little videos I edited for fun. But when I got to school, I was like, oh, I can pursue media through journalism, which I thought was amazing because one of the main reasons why I loved journalism was storytelling. I think when I was in college, a lot of the stories that I was telling were assignment-based. And so although I got to pick the topics, a lot of the interests, like when I was in journalism and I was taking a photography class, one of our topics was sports photography. And that was fun. I loved exploring that, but I knew that sports photography was not my passion and not something that I wanted to pursue. But still, I was creating work for an assignment. So I always had a drive, I always had an end goal. I was like, oh, I know that I have to take these photos and meet this criteria, and it was very laid out for me. So fast forward a little bit, when I graduated school, like I had said, it was the first time that I had all this freedom to create and produce what I wanted. Nobody was telling me what to do, what to go shoot. I had all this freedom, and I thought, yes, freedom is exactly what will help me solve this dilemma I'm having. And it did to some degree. But here comes the problem. Or cue the journal entry, I should say. Somehow I have fallen into this toxic cycle I think that social media really perpetuates, but I am the driver at its core. So if you know me, you know that I had a photography account for a long time, knowing that I wanted to post my work there. But I always thought, oh, Instagram is very aesthetic based. You have to know what you're posting and form your aesthetic because people want to follow an aesthetic page. And that was one of the main things, or the main goals for me for social media, was to put out work that I felt secure in and that I loved, and hopefully then I would attract the followers of like who liked my work, if that makes sense. My main goal right now is to experiment with different photo styles, different editing styles, and to be able to share them freely, not be like, oh, does this match the aesthetic I'm trying to share? I just want to be able to take and edit a photo for what it is and for the story that I see in the moment, and not what it could fit into a bigger puzzle. Because I'm niching down so much right now before I have even explored. Really love change, I love mixing it up. It's one of the things I love about photography because I always saw like, oh, you shoot different subjects, you have different assignments, you have the chance to create something, and I think I just need to backtrack into the reasons that I started photography and the reasons and the passions that drove this art form for me, and I need to go back to that instead of thinking so much about what is on social media. So again, I want to revisit that question, and when I'm creating my art, I want to not look at it for what it is and say, okay, what is it that I'm trying to produce? I need to take a look back and ask myself, who is it that I am creating for? And I hope that answer is me. I would like to create work for me right now. And yeah, I'm on this incredible trip. It is my life. I just want to document it in its rawest form while also getting the chance to experiment and explore different options. See, speaking it out loud, I feel like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I just feel lighter, more excited. I can't stop smiling now. Very exciting stuff. That's it. Kind of just my current thoughts, a little mental check-in. Hopefully I'll look back at this one day and kind of just giggle and be like, I remember what it was like being there. Oh my gosh, I didn't even include one of the craziest parts. Sometimes I think the universe is it just aligns when you need it to. I was telling Caroline last night that one of the guys that I graduated with, we were never really friends, we were more just of classmates. The journalism department is really small, so you tend to see the same kids kind of rotate through your classes. So I saw him frequently, especially because he was also a photographer, so we're niched down even more in the journalism department. I just saw him all the time. I saw his work a lot. And it was just nice following that in school. I still follow him and he follows me, and we kind of like each other's work on social media, that kind of thing. But he DM'd me yesterday out of nowhere. We haven't talked since we graduated, and we really didn't talk too much while we were in school. But he DM'd me and just was like, oh, your trip looks nice, you look happy, blah, blah, blah. And I had also commented back because he's been shooting a lot of concert work right now, which has been looking great. He's doing a really good job. So I just commented on his work, and he's like, I've been loving following your work as well. And he responds and says that he has so much content that he has wanted to share, but he feels sometimes insecure about it, about sharing so much work online, and he finds social media overwhelming. Which is just exactly what I have been trying to express lately, and I just thought it was such funny timing. Like, just a reminder from the universe that the human experience is not really original. It can be, but just know that if you're having an internal conflict, there is most likely millions of other people having that same conflict. So after he messaged me that, I of course messaged him back and was like, you know what? I have been thinking about that same thing. It has been on my mind for the past couple weeks. And we kind of just talked about sharing on social media more freely and sharing the work that we want to share and we want to see. And it was just a really nice sign from the universe. Like, I felt so much better knowing that, oh my gosh, I know that other people are experiencing it, but it's one thing to just be like, oh, I know, and it's another thing for someone to literally reach out to you and bring it up and open the conversation. And it was just healing a little bit. It really was. Feeling much more inspired. I'm feeling much more at peace, centered, confident in my ability to figure it out. It is really bright now. The sun is up. My feet are 100% asleep. There we go. That's way more. Sorry, that has been overexposed the whole time. Oh my gosh, my feet hurt. Oh my god. Oh my god. My legs are not working. Oh my god.